So, my dear ladies and gentlemen and kids, thank you very much for your attending this program, From Stress to Serenity. So why are we speaking on From Stress to Serenity? Well, we're all in stress, isn't it? Even Brahmaji, the demigod in charge of the whole universe, he's also in stress. What to speak of the dog on the street? So within the human society, even the big successful millionaires, billionaires, or big political leaders who have all kinds of honor and prestige and power, everyone's in stress. The sweeper in the street, the cab driver, the prime ministers, corporate presidents, everyone's in stress. So why are we in stress? We have to know why we're in stress if we want to cure this stress. If we don't know why we're in stress, how we can cure it. Just like you go to the doctor, you're sick. If the doctor doesn't know why you're sick, how he can cure it. So the knowledge of why we're in stress must be there if we're going to move from the undesirable position of stress to the desirable position of serenity. The reason we are in stress is we are trying to be the center of all existence. Each one of us is trying to be the center of existence. But that is not our natural position. In other words, we're trying to be what we're not. We're trying to do something which is unnatural. It's very easy and natural to be who you really are, but to try to be what we're not, that's not an easy, you cannot be what you're not. And if we try to be what we're not, which we cannot do, it's naturally going to be a very stressful situation. So let us look to the ancient wisdom, Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text number 8, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravartate iti madbhavajante mang buddhamavasamanvitaha. I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage me with in my devotional service with all of their hearts. So Krishna actually declares that he's the center of all existence. So you may try to fight with him. No, like Kamsa is him. Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, they tried to fight with that person who's the center of all existence. Like Lord Ram, he is actually Krishna at a different lila. So they tried to fight. No, I will be the center of existence. What was the result? They were killed by Ram or by Krishna. So why we should try to fight with Krishna? No, I am the center of existence. Why don't we accept that person as the center of all existence? The great Vedic authority Brahmaji, he states in Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, text number 1, Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Controller, Satchidananda Vigraha. He has an eternal form full of bliss and knowledge. Anadir, he has no origin. Adir, he is the origin of everything. And Sarva Karana Karanam. And he is indeed the cause of all causes. So, someone may say, well, that's just some Hindu philosophy or some religious sentiment. Why should I accept that? I'd rather accept the scientists. Well, I would invite such skeptics, just try it, you see. Someone says, well, this is a very nice dish. You have not tasted it before, why not give it a try, you see. So I encourage the skeptics, just try to embrace this understanding of existence. that Krishna is the source of everything. Just try it. See if it works for you. If it doesn't work, reject it. But if it does work, why not accept it? So if we embrace this principle that Krishna is the center of existence, not me, and try to live in accordance with that understanding, an amazing thing happens. We go from the realm of stress to the realm of serenity. I'll give you a very nice example. We all know about hurricanes. Especially now in the U.S., the U.S. is being hit by many, many hurricanes. So that hurricane is huge, powerful winds whirling around. But in the eye of the hurricane, it's completely peaceful. Sometimes it is seen on the radar, there's a big flock of birds flying in the center. The birds know the center is very nice. Just fly in the center of the hurricane is very calm and peaceful there, you see. So we see this material world, all the things going on here, the murders, the rapes, the cheating, all the difficulties, the heart attacks, all kinds of difficulties going on here. So many problems, air pollution, water pollution, economic problems. It goes on and on and on, and the list goes on and on and on and on. You see? It's a big whirling hurricane. But if you get in the eye of the hurricane, see, the hurricane means stress, but the eye of the hurricane, that's where you find the serenity. You see? So the bona fide spiritual master teaches you how to place yourself in the eye of the hurricane. So no matter how much stress and difficulties, there's wars and so many horrible things going on around and around and around. No matter how stressful and how much anxiety and how much confusion and illusion going on in profusion in inconceivably horrible ways, that person who can place himself in the eye of the hurricane, who can center his consciousness in the eye of the hurricane, he experiences total, complete serenity, never disturbed by anything, like those birds flying in the center of the hurricane. You see. So then, what is the art of centering your consciousness? That art is called yoga, or specifically, Krishna says, yoginam api sarvesham madgatena tadatmana shadava mujate yamang samyukta dhamomataha. Of all the yogis, the one who engages himself in the Bhakti yoga, devotional service, he is the highest yogi, the most intimately united with Krishna. You see. So we may not find it easy to do the Himalayas, renouncing our family, our jobs, our income, or even our clothes. Those Nagababas up in the snow and ice, levitating and doing so many things by their powerful yoga. We may find out very practical, how I can be a yogi in the Himalayas, renouncing everything. But there's another yoga. Krishna says the highest yogi is the one who does Bhakti yoga, the yoga of devotion. In that yoga you can do even, you can have a career, you can have a job, you can have a family, you can have a house, you can have a car, you can have all of these things. But this is the highest yogi, one who engages himself in devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. And that yoga is not difficult to perform. It begins with us, the tongue. We all have tongues, isn't it? So the tongue has two businesses, vibrating and tasting, you see. So it's not difficult to do this yoga. You can start with your tongue by vibrating, just like I'm vibrating right now, you see. You can vibrate with your tongue. So there's so many Vedic mantras, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There's so many different yogas, you see, different mantras. Mantra means what delivers the mind from stress and puts the mind into serenity. So that Supreme Person himself, Lord Sri Krishna, he very kindly appeared 500 years ago in a part of India which is now known as West Bengal. And he showed the easiest way to engage in Bhakti Yoga. He chanted this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's a very simple yoga. Even a little child can do it, you see. Even little children, they can go Hare Krishna, you see. So if one actually makes the experiment, well, I don't know about this. I've heard so many things and so many gurus, I don't know. But if you try this Hare Krishna chanting, you will find it's actually very enchanting. The mind becomes attracted to it, you see. And this attraction to the holy name of God, it is the centering of the consciousness outside of the stress into the realm of serenity. In Sanskrit, it is called Nama Avatar. The Supreme Lord, there's so many avatars. There's Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, so many. There's unlimited incarnations of God, you see. Ramadi Murti Shakalana Imena Tishtan. It's described in the Brahma Samhita. So many incarnations, beginning with Krishna. But that Supreme Person, he appears in the form of this vibration. So you actually can have God himself dancing on your tongue. Hare Krishna, you see. So by this vibration, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, and you meditate on that very easily, because you're vibrating it, Hare Krishna, you're hearing it, Hare Krishna, and then your consciousness becomes centered into the realm of serenity beyond the realm of stress. You may say, well, I'm skeptical, but if you try it with an open mind and open heart, without it being judgmental, but just try it openly, you'll see it actually works, you see. So what we're really saying here is, in simple language, know who you are and be who you are. What does that mean? I'm not telling you to try to be something that you're not, which is a very stressful situation, but I'm telling you simply be who you actually are. That's a very serene thing. It's easy to be who you are, and it's difficult to be who you're not, you see. If I say, now just be who you are, who will object? I don't want to be who I am. But that's the most easy thing to do. Be natural, you see. It's natural for a fish to swim around in the water. If you tell the fish, my dear Mr. Fish, why don't you fly in the sky? Will it be easy for the fish to fly in the sky? No, he can't do it. It's unnatural. If you tell the bird to swim, to go underneath the water, it's unnatural. To be who you are is natural and easy. To be who you're not is very, very difficult, you see. But in this world, the difficulty is we are trying to be who we're not. That's the big, big problem which pushes us into all kinds of stress, you see. We're trying to be who we're not. So what do we learn from the beautiful Vedic wisdom, the most practical knowledge anywhere to be found in the entire universe? What do we learn? Aham Brahmasmi. I'm not this body, I am spirit. You see. So if you try to be who you're not, I'm a young man, I'm a young girl, well, how long will that last, you see? You may say, I'm a young man, I can run down the street, but you become an old man with a cane after a few years, you see. If you try to be this body, you cannot be it. It doesn't work. Why? Because the body is constantly changing. At every minute, the old blood corpuscles are dying off and new blood corpuscles are taking their place. So it's a constant state of flux, like water running down the riverbed, you see. The body is a constant state of flux, but the ego, the I consciousness, I am, you see. Someone says, well, I don't believe there's a soul. But the soul is very simple to understand. You have the conception of I. That, when your conception of I, that's the soul. That is the soul. I am this, I am the I, that's the soul. Your conception of existence, of being. You see, that beingness that you feel, that you taste, that you experience at every minute, that beingness, that is the soul, you see. Not the body, because the body is constantly changing. You can remember something you did when you were a little kid. That little kid's body is gone, but still you can identify with it because the eye that was there in your little kid's body is the same eye you have now. The body has changed, like you put a red shirt today and a blue shirt tomorrow, but the wearer of the shirt is the same. So when you come to the spiritual platform, now you're learning how to come to that realm of serenity, you see. So the bona fide spiritual master teaches you how to get out of the realm of stress, the realm of I am this body, to the realm of serenity, I am spirit soul, you see. That's what the bona fide spiritual master teaches you how to do. In the first lesson he teaches you is to chant this Hare Krishna mantra. And even before that, you have to hear first of all. Because if you're going to chant Hare Krishna, you have to hear it first. Otherwise you won't know what to chant. So the actual beginning, before even chanting, is hearing. Just as you all, ladies and gentlemen and kids, are hearing right now, this is the beginning of self-realization, you see. Hearing opens the door to serenity. Hearing from the right source. If you hear from a bogus guru or just a money-making politician or whatever it may be, that hearing will not liberate you, but if you hear from a bona fide spiritual master, just as I heard from my Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swami Prabhupada, I'm still hearing from him. All the way in the car coming here tonight, I was hearing him speaking, giving class on Bhagavad Gita. Hearing from the bona fide spiritual master, that is the key that will bring you into your actual identity. So back to the example of the bird and the fish. You see. The fish is very happy in his natural environment, the water, and the bird is very happy in its natural environment, the air. So the difficulty we have, why we're so much in stress right now, is we're trying to be what we're not. We're like birds trying to go under the water, or fish trying to fly in the sky. That's why we're in so much stress in the modern day society, because we're being misled by politicians, money-making businessmen, and by bogus gurus. We're being misled to trying to be what we're not. You see. So just get back to being who we actually are. I'm a spiritual being. And what is the nature of the spiritual being? God himself is pure spirit, and we also being spirit are qualitatively one with him, you see. Just like the complete whole is there, and the part of the whole shares the same quality as the whole. A spark of fire, the spark comes flying out of the fire and has the same quality of heat and light that the fire itself has. See, we are all sparks or emanations of God himself. So as Brahmasi states, Satchidananda Vigraha, that supreme source of all existence, is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, and we being part of him are also eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So maybe some of you would like to challenge what I'm saying, we feel that I'm not speaking correctly, or some of you may have some questions. So I'm certainly open to discuss these things with you. I'm here to teach you and train you how to be who you actually are, how to get out of this unnatural, stressful position, and how to get back to your natural, very serene position of qualitatively one with the supreme source of all existence. You see. Have any questions? Is there a microphone to pass around, or how about, here's a mic. If you have questions, raise your hand and the mic will be passed to you. Is there any questions? If not, I have a lot more things I can tell you. I have actually unlimited things to tell you, because I've been blessed with an access to the storehouse of knowledge. So I can go on speaking for 24 hours a day. But I want to answer your questions. That's very important if I understand your questions.
Hare Krishna. I am Salil. Everyone is telling that you be whatever you are. But how we know that in which, whatever state we are there, that is a natural state? How we will know?
Yes. So how do you actually know that you're being properly guided? Someone says, well, be a good Indian, or be a good communist, or be a good this, or be a good that, you see. Well, I have one book, it's called Truth Works. You can try it, see how, you can try it. You can follow this teaching, follow that teaching, and see what works. I know in my own path of finding the proper knowledge, I went to one guru. His book was called The Book on the Taboo Against Knowing Who You Are. This gentleman's name was Alan Watts. He had studied the different teachings from India, and he concluded his philosophy was, actually, you were God, but right now you're playing hide and go seek with yourself. I said, wow, that's great. I'm God. That sounds really good. So I tried to do it, and it didn't work. I tried following that philosophy, it didn't work. So my simple answer to you, my dear sir, is truth works. Truth works, and untruth doesn't work. So try it. That's all we're saying. We're not trying to force this down your throat. We're just saying, here's an opportunity for you to try something. Try the path of Bhakti, as Krishna teaches in Bhagavad Gita, and just try it. I mean, you all are Indians. I'm from America, and I follow Bhagavad Gita. And why don't you follow it? This is your own culture, Bhagavad Gita. Why don't you do it? Why does an American have to come here and tell the Indians to follow Bhagavad Gita? You see? Why an American has to come and tell you should follow Bhagavad Gita? Because I've been following it for over half a century, and it's amazing when it does, when you actually tune in and follow strictly what's teaching in the Gita, you'll experience amazing mystical experiences beyond this material existence. So I just say try it. Try following the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. And just see what happens. And if it works, and if it works, you see. It's like someone says, well, here's something called an elevator. Well, how do I know it really works? I have the stairs here. Why do you even try the elevator? Well, just get in and push the button and see what happens. And wow, I went to the top floor. It was amazing. I didn't have to walk the steps. So how do I know the elevator works? Because I tried it and it took me to the top floor. You see? So I'm saying, here's the elevator for your consciousness that takes you out of all the miseries of material existence. I don't know, but just try it. Chant Hare Krishna. And then Krishna says, Patram Pattapadam Dayam Yome Bhakti Prayachstati Tadaham Bhakrupa Vishtam Vasnami Prayatatmanaha. If you will offer me a love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, fruit or water, I will accept it. So just try that. Instead of just eating, you can get a little picture of Krishna, and you can offer your vegetarian food to Krishna. He doesn't take meat, fish, and eggs. He says no. But try offering your vegetarian food to Krishna, and then eat it, and see what it does to your consciousness. See what it does. See if it doesn't take you in a new realm of consciousness you didn't even know existed, you see. Does that help a little bit? Because I was taught by my first teacher in this movement, Vishnudan Swami, very nice teacher. He said, if you have anything, he said, you must inquire until all your doubts are satisfied. So I'm not here to pound something into your brains. I'm here to give you the opportunity to understand something beyond your material existence, you see. Because that body is not actually you. You're actually a spiritual being, you see. Your body will come and go, but you, the eternal spiritual being, remains forever. As God is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, you are also, being part of Him, you're also full of knowledge and bliss and eternal. So what I'm teaching, actually, it's not my teaching. I'm just here to give you what Krishna is teaching in the Gita. If you actually plug in these knowledge of Krishna's, actually try what Krishna says, you will experience an identity that puts you beyond your body. And even death will not be a problem, you see. You can even be on your deathbed and not be stressed out. Can you imagine being serene at the time of death? Everybody's scared of death, isn't it? Oh no, death. Oh, horrible, death. But if you're actually Krishna conscious, if you're actually tuning your spiritual identity, death will be a serene experience. Go to sleep and wake up with Krishna. You see? So You can remain in stress. If you like your stress, you're welcome to have it. If you enjoy being stressed out, go ahead. Be my guest. Go ahead and be stressful if you like it. But I guarantee you, serenity is much better than stress. Well, I don't know. Maybe stress is the best thing. All right. If you like stress, you'll be my guest. Go for it, you see. There's the whole material society will keep you in a state of stress. All the billboards and all the liquor shops and the tobacco and the porno. Go ahead. If you think it's great, go for it. But I guarantee you, it will keep you locked up in stress. Even lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And I can inform you, it's not very pleasant news, but if you remain attached to this material sense gratification, you get better facility for your next life as an animal. I hate to tell you this, but it's mad news, but if I'm very attached to sense enjoyment, for example, some people like to eat anything and everything. They don't care about anything, just eat, whatever they want. Well, in their next lifetime, pig can even eat stool and think, oh, it's a very nice juicy stool, you see. If you have no discrimination in eating, your karma has become a stool-eating hog in your next birth, you see. So, I'm here to give you something better. Why not wake up in the spiritual world in your next lifetime? An eternal spiritual body that never gets old and never gets sick and never dies. If you follow my instructions, which are not my instructions, it's what I've got from my spiritual master, what he got from his spiritual master, back to the original spiritual master, Lord Sri Krishna, you see. This is handed down from master to disciple, who becomes a master for the next disciple, who becomes a master for the it's called Guru Parampara. It begins with Krishna himself, you see. Krishna enlightened Brahmaji, Brahmaji enlightened Naradaji, Naradaji enlightened Vyasadeva, down to Madhvacharya, Amunacharya, Vishnu Swami. All these great acharyas you have here in India, they have passed this down over thousands and thousands of years now to you people here in India. So now you hear from the bona fide spiritual master, and this will connect you to your actual culture. Why be running after Western culture when this India was formerly the headquarters of the whole world? The whole world, this was the whole world during the Vedic times, there was only one country on this whole planet, and the capital of the whole world was now what you call Delhi, New Delhi, Hastinapur. That was the capital. There was only one nation, one king ruled the entire planet Earth. So India was actually the capital of the whole world, you see. So why not go back to your original glory as the leading place of this entire planet, you see. By embracing, you can keep your Western technology, I have no objection, your internet and your Hondas and your Toyotas. I have no objection, keep it. Keep your Apple computers or whatever, keep it and use it, it's all right. But combine this Western technology with your Indian, take the best of the West and the best of the East, and make a beautiful, wonderful culture which can lead the whole world out of chaos. That's all we're saying, is it? Any other questions? Yes, sir.
People in general, when it comes to spirituality, they tend to see that as a very high value system, and when there is a simple solution being given for such a very high value system, there is a challenge among people to accept it. They think that something very high has to be very complicated, it cannot be simple. So how do we deal with this situation?
Yeah. Well, it's actually not as, actually it's a little complicated, to be honest. Just like on this pathway, in the beginning you can take it very simple. It's called in like a needle, out like a plow. We give a very simple way to begin it, but once you get into it, you see that, well, I have to give up illicit sex. I can only use sex for procreation. I have to give up meat eating, intoxication, no more lottery. You know, it requires some sacrifice to actually get into it all the way. So in the beginning you can just chant Hare Krishna and do whatever you like. But you have to give up your cigarettes too, you see. You have to give up your porno or whatever it may be, you see, to really come to a high level. So it requires some sacrifice. It does require some sacrifice. But it can be introduced in a very simple way. When Prabhupada came to America, the hippies were doing all kinds of intoxications, illicit sex life. There was no marriage even, just sex for fun. It was a very loose culture, the hippie movement. So, but Prabhupada said, just chant, dance, and ecstasy, and they loved it. And then he said, okay, now you give up your cigarettes, and now you're going to marry your girlfriend, you see. So, it can give in a very simple way, but then once you get into it, then you have to do some sacrifices to make it perfect. 1 + 1 = 2 is pretty easy, is it? But pi r squared is getting a little more complicated. But it's the same science, mathematics. It starts out very simple, but then it becomes more complex. I remember my dad, we didn't study algebra in elementary school. My dad who really was into mathematics, I remember this summer before I went to junior high, he taught me algebra. Yes. And because of my dad's encouragement, I made straight A's in math all the way through, you see. So, but it takes there's a higher and higher levels. So the beginning is very simple, 1 + 1 = 2, but then gradually, algebra, trigonometry, you see, calculus becomes more complicated also. But once you're on the path and you take it patiently, enthusiastically, you can go to the higher levels without any difficulty, but it takes time to get there. Does that help a little bit? Okay, next. There we are. Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So if we enjoy what we are doing, where is the concept of stress here? For example, if you take Krishna Kumar Prabhu, he will enjoy while doing the kirtan. He will involve in that. So where is the concept of stress here?
Concept of what? The concept of what here?
It is not clear. Good.
Stress.
If one enjoys what he does, then where is the concept?
Enjoyment is natural, you see. So we don't say give up enjoyment, we say enjoy in such a way you can go on enjoying without any interruption. You see. We try to enjoy in the material world, but enjoyment is always up and down. Happiness, distress, happiness and distress, happiness and distress. That's called material enjoyment. You see. Sukha dukkha, sukha dukkha, sukha dukkha. Happiness and serenity and stress, serenity and distress. So why not we teach the level of how, instead of happiness and distress, happiness, more happiness, more happiness, more happiness, more happiness. You see. That's what we teach you. Prabhupada says chant and be happy, you see. We don't say chant and be stressed, chant and be happy. We teach you how to enjoy. Enjoyment is a natural position. The natural position of living is to enjoy. So instead of enjoying in such ways that brings you distress or anxiety, enjoy in such a way as your enjoyment goes on increasing, increasing, increasing for all of existence. You see. Enjoyment is not bad, it's natural to enjoy, but now to enjoy in such a way that there's no more stress. That's what we're teaching you. Does that help a little bit? All right, next question. We only have one mic now, huh? Any challenges? Written questions are also very good. Okay. Okay. Is there any need to pray to the Lord to reduce our material or spiritual miseries? Actually, we don't have to pray for Him to reduce our miseries. When we chant this Hare Krishna mantra, we're not praying to reduce the miseries, we're praying, please let me awaken my pure love for you. The reason we're in miseries are, instead of trying to please the Lord, we're trying to please ourselves. In other words, we're trying to enjoy separately from God, and that puts us into distress, or stress, same thing. So we don't need to pray to produce our miseries. We simply have to pray to awaken our original pure loving tendency for God, and that immediately wipes out all of our miseries. Does that help a little bit? Yeah. Yeah. He knows everything and what is the best to be done at the right time. Yes. Krishna knows everything. He's in your heart. He knows everything you're thinking about, everything you're doing, everything you're speaking. He has perfect knowledge of you. And what he wants is your love, you see. In fact, that's why you exist. Krishna could be all alone if he wanted to be, but Krishna enjoys loving relationships, and therefore he's manifesting for himself an infinite number of living entities so he can enjoy an infinite variety of loving relationships. With each and every jiva soul or individual, there's a certain taste, there's a certain flavor from that relationship that nobody else can give him. So every one of us has a certain ability to love Krishna in a way that's unique. Only we can love Krishna in that particular way. It's different rasas, you see. So Krishna is manifesting each and every one of us so we can have a unique taste of loving relationship with us that he can't get it from anyone else. So we're cheating ourselves by not going back to our rational position. See? So let's go back to our natural position of loving relationship with that person. You may say, if that's our natural position, why are we here in the material world? Well, love cannot be forced. I put a gun in there, love me or I'll blow your brains out. See, love cannot be forced. It has to be voluntary. Therefore, Krishna gives us the choice to love him or leave him. And there's an infinite number of living entities in the spiritual world. Only a teeny-weeny fraction of them misuse their free will. And here we are in Trivandrum. You see, we misused our free will to try to enjoy separately from Krishna. But now, Krishna comes himself personally, as he came 5,000 years ago here in the holy land of India. And he sends his representative, the bona fide spiritual masters, to come and remind us, why are you suffering here? Just come back to being who you really are. You're my eternal devotees. Come back to your original position and you'll be happy, free of all the anxieties you go through. Next question. I'll answer your question fully? Okay. I want to answer your questions in full. There shouldn't be any doubts left in your brains. Anybody has any doubts about what I've spoken tonight? Go ahead and speak out if you're a little doubtful about it. Well, I don't know about that. That sounds a little weird to me. If you have any doubts, please let me hear them. I'm here to help you begin all doubts, because this knowledge is perfect. It actually destroys all doubts, but not by force, by reasoning and understanding.
Guru Maharaj, I want to ask you, how do we implement the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in our life, in our daily life? We have learned quite a lot of things from Bhagavad Gita, but when it comes to practical implementation, we often find it challenging.
Yat kadoshi yadashnasi yajdahosi dadati yat tabashyasi gandhaya tat kadusha vadarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer is given away, as well as austerities you may perform, do that as son of Kunti as an offering unto me. So the bona fide spiritual master teaches you how to engage everything in his service, you see. Whatever you eat, whatever you do, spiritual master trains you personally and directly from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep at night, everything you're doing. Whether you're sending your kids to school, whether you're earning money, whether you're shopping, whether you're dressing, everything, he teaches you how to do everything in such a way. It's called the science of Bhakti Yoga. And we have a nice book, The Nectar Devotion, which gives all kinds of practical guidance how to do that. And anybody who's looking for personal guidance, I have something called the Ultimate Self-Realization Course. You can join it by going to www.joincourse, joincourse.com, and I will give you personal guidance. You can inquire from me, you can ask me questions. Also, if you don't want to enroll for the course, you can write me. SD, I'm Sankarshan Das, so SD for Sankarshan Das at worldleader.com. You can write me personally and ask me all detailed questions about every little aspect of your life, and I will teach you how to transcendentalize every aspect of your life so you can become a fully self-realized soul like the great sages of India, even while you're a householder, working a job, or kids going to school, whatever it may be. Does that help? Because I know the details I can answer. You'll let me know what the details are. Arjuna asked, based on Krishna's plan, if someone has to become a pure devotee, even that is a plan already fixed by Krishna. Yeah, Krishna has a plan for all of us to become pure devotees, in fact. Plan A is Krishna's plan, and plan B is our plan. We got to give, Krishna has a plan for each and every one of us how to come back to pure bhakti. So the plan is already there. You just got to tune in to Krishna's plan by taking shelter, the bona fide spiritual master, and he will teach you plan A, how to connect with Krishna's plan. Or one has to work his own plan to become a devotee. No, we go with Krishna's plan. He tells us exactly what we need to do in the Bhagavad Gita. From whatever and where your mind wanders due to its flickering and steady nature, one will certainly withdraw it and bring it back to Krishna. So everything is given in the Bhagavad Gita, how to do exactly what Krishna wants us to do. The plan is given in Bhagavad Gita for every one of us. The science of how to coming back to being who you really are is given in full detail in the Gita, and Krishna also says to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Just try to learn the truth by approaching the spiritual master. Tadvadi pradipratena paripashnena sevaya upadekshnatate jnanam kanina tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching the spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So if you take shelter of the bona fide guru, as I did for my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, then you can actually learn. He'll teach you how to come back to being who you actually are by connecting your plan with Krishna's plan, you see. We have to amalgamate our plan with Krishna's plan. Krishna doesn't say give up doing what you want to do or what you're inspired to do. No, he says continue doing what you're attracted to do, but offer the result to me. If you're a painter, you can go ahead and paint, but do it for Krishna. If you're a songwriter, go ahead and do it, but write songs for Krishna. If you're a philosopher and you like to study and write books of philosophy, do that, but offer it to Krishna. If you're a politician and want to become the prime minister, go for it and do it for Krishna. If you're a businessman, you want to become a multimillionaire, do it, but do it for Krishna. Whatever you like to do, whatever your propensity is, do that in Krishna's service. Any other questions? Very good. More questions coming now. That's great. I like questions. That means I know you're listening and your mind's not going a million miles away. That's nice, the questions. Okay. How does the concept of surrendering to the will of Krishna help in reducing stress and finding peace? Krishna says, surrender to me. That's his instruction. That's our natural position. Our natural serene position is to be surrendered to Krishna. And we're in stress because we're not surrendered to Krishna. It's a simple thing. All our anxiety and stress is due to the fact that we're not surrendered to Krishna. So when you do surrender, it's like the fish trying to enjoy out of the water. It's like the fish is naturally in the water. Our position is to be naturally surrendered to Krishna. If the fish tries to enjoy on the land, he cannot be happy on the land. He must be in stress, flapping and agony on the beach. So we are in stress because we're trying to enjoy separately from Krishna. How to practice a devotional service with full enthusiasm besides so many health issues. I know what you're talking about, health issues. With a 77-year-old body, I know what you're talking about, health issues. You see. So, one takes it, well, my dear Krishna, you give me this health problem. I know it's actually it's a result of my previous sinful activities, but I know by your grace, my health problem is being minimized, you see. You see, it's being minimized. So the devotee sees the loving hand of Krishna even in his health difficulties. And ultimately we'll all have health difficulties. Death is inevitable for each and every one of us. Old age, invalidity, and death are unavoidable. So instead of being distressed by them, see them this is Krishna's reminder that I'm not this material body, and it's not my actual identity. And my actual identity is I'm eternal youth as a spiritual being. So take these health issues as a reminder that I'm not really this body, I'm an eternal spiritual being, and don't be disturbed by them. Matra sparshastakonteya shitoshna sugadu kada agamapayano nejnastangtatishvabharata. The non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course of time are like the appearance and disappearance of this winter and summer season. One must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. O sign of Bharata. So don't learn how to be not disturbed by health issues. Just be non-disturbed. Sometimes I'm healthy, sometimes I'm sick, sometimes I'm wealthy, sometimes I'm poor, sometimes I'm famous, sometimes I'm infamous, sometimes I'm loved, sometimes I'm hated. We have to learn how to be transcendental with these dualities. That is the nature of the material world. We're sometimes sick, we're sometimes healthy, sometimes wealthy, sometimes poor. Learn to be tolerant, just like the seasons go. It's sometimes hot as hell, sometimes wet as hell, sometimes there's all these dualities going on, you see. Learn how to be tolerant of the dualities and become situated beyond the dualities on the Brahman platform, spiritual platform. Anything else? We got about 10 minutes left. So anyone have any more questions? I love questions, so if you have a question going on, come on, let's hear it. Something is in your mind? Yeah, let's hear it. I love your questions, they're great. Here's one.
From you. So I have a doubt. Mostly, our most important cause of our stress is our actions towards provoking situations in the material world. When we are out into the material world, we are always challenged with many provoking situations, and we act upon our reflex actions, and we sometimes talk aggressively without thinking. So how can we remember Lord Krishna at that moment and not act upon our reflex actions?
When provoking situations come, we act reflexively. How to don't act reflexively and think of Krishna at that time?
Actually, the perplexing situations are the best opportunity. Arjuna was very perplexed on the battlefield. You see. Actually, when the most perplexing situations come, the most bewildering, anxiety-ridden situations come, that's the best opportunity. So don't be disturbed by perplexing situations. Take them as the greatest blessing of Krishna, that now I'm being tested. Am I really, really serious about Krishna consciousness, or am I still trying to enjoy separately from Krishna, you see? So don't be disturbed by perplexing situations, accept them as the greatest blessing. That's the insider's secret. Are you willing to follow that or not? Take even the most perplexing situations as the greatest blessing. That's the insider's secret, how to never be distressed in any situation, how to be always blissful and serene in each and every situation, even the most horrible, perplexing situations. Prabhupada said, even if the atomic bomb is coming to kill me, would that be perplexing? The atom bomb is dropping, a big explosion, and not dead, we're not dead, maybe killed by the bomb. That'd be pretty perplexing, wouldn't it be? Here the bomb is coming. So Prabhupada said, I will see, oh, how here is Krishna. Krishna says, I'm all-devouring death. So when he sees even death as Krishna, oh, now Krishna has come to take me, is it? I practically experienced one time, our temple, we were being robbed by the armed bandits with a rifle and a gun, you see. And actually it was a very frightening situation. They came in with a gun, everybody to get down on the floor. They had a gun, it backed in Patty's head, and the pistol was put in her head. They've been threatening to shoot her dead, you know, it's a very frightening situation. So I just yelled out, Nrsingadev. Instead of being perplexed, I just took shelter and chanted the name of God, Nrsingadev. And now the gun was pointed at me. But I wasn't perplexed, because I was taking shelter of Nrsingadev, Lord Krishna. And the whole thing turned around, you see. So in the most perplexing situations, just chant the name of God, Krishna, or Nrsinga Bhagavan, you see. Just chant the name of God and you'll be amazed how the whole thing turns around, you see. Those bandits were gone very quickly after I chanted Nrsingadev's name, you see. So in the most perplexing situation, this is a golden opportunity to take complete, total shelter of Krishna, you see. And it's not easy, it's not difficult to get his presence because he is present in his name. Just say Krishna, you see. Just like you're riding in the car and now all of a sudden the car goes off the road and you may die. Just go Krishna, you see. You'll be surprised how the whole thing turns around. Take shelter of Krishna. This process works. I know because I've tried it for 53 years and it works. This process is not some hype from my Madison Avenue so-called slick guru with the fancy kurta and the cufflinks and all that kind of stuff. This stuff works. It really works, you see. Try it, you'll love it. I guarantee you. But I can't say your money back because we don't charge anything. It's free, you see. I went to other gurus, they charged me money. One of these bogus gurus from India, he gave me a mantra, he charged me money for the guru. He's a money-making guru coming from India to America, charging money for mantra. And he became very rich and famous, you see. But his mantra didn't work. I tried it, it didn't work. He ripped me off for the equivalent of 1 month's rent, and it didn't work, you see. But my real guru, he didn't charge a money, didn't charge a penny, Prabhupada. He didn't come here to take money from the American people. He came to give his love, you see, to share the love of Krishna with us, you see. So that really works. When the bona fide guru comes, he doesn't come to cheat you, he comes to give you the love of Krishna. He comes to give you his own love also. So when we come in contact with a bona fide spiritual master, we can feel the ecstasy of tasting his love that he's giving us, you see. Anything else? Yes, sir.
When somebody starts taking a spirituality process, they suddenly feel that they have so much illuminati or knowledge and they become insensitive to people around, maybe their loved ones or friends or even the next circle. How do we protect ourselves in those initial stages of spiritual process?
Actually, when you're really Krishna conscious, now you learn for the first time in your life how to actually love everybody, you see. When you water the root of the tree, all the leaves and branches are nourished. When you give your love to Krishna, now you can become the best husband, the best wife, the best father, the best son, the best next door neighbor. You become the most genuine, loving person in the whole world when you become Krishna conscious. It's not that you become insensitive, I touch no one and no one touches me, I'm a rock, I'm an island. No, it's not like that, you see. Now you know how to actually give your love, genuine love to everybody, you see. The whole basis of Krishna consciousness is loving relationships. Our whole movement, ISKCON movement, is based on loving. Prabhupada started the movement by giving his love, you see. And by giving that pure love, now more and more people are coming. When they taste real love when they come to ISKCON, our movement. They never experienced real love in their lives. Now they're tasting real love, so they join us. And they learn how to give real love to others. So this movement is based on real love, not on insensitivity. It's based on genuine sensitivity, based on genuine love. Okay? Okay, we have 1 minute left. I have my, last question.
Guruji, you told that the reason for the stress is trying for some impossible things. Definitely in our life we have to take some challenges, not for going for only simple things. So how to identify what is possible, or if you are going for only simple things, we may go simple lazy also. So how to be successful in the life, taking challenges and also being not being under stress.
You have said that the reason for stress is we are going for the impossible things. But if we are not going for the impossible things, we may end up in being lazy.
Want to go for the possible thing. Yeah. Developing pure love of God is possible, so go for Him, you see. Why try for the impossible? The impossible is to try to be God, you see. I'm trying to be God. That's impossible. You cannot be God. So instead of trying to be God, why not become the lover of God? That's possible. And when you try for that, you'll get Krishna reciprocate with you. Now you're trying to develop your love for me. Now I give you this mercy, I give you that mercy. Krishna gives mercy, unlimited mercy. He says, inasmuch as they surrender to me, I reward them accordingly. So when you try to develop your Krishna consciousness, Krishna himself, that supreme person, the source of all existence, will personally reciprocate with you. Can you imagine that reciprocation with God himself? But he will. When you show your desire to have love for him, he will reciprocate with you. More, you have a loving exchange with God himself, the source of all existence. Can you imagine anything more wonderful and encouraging than that? What is your answer? So I have my book here. You can bring my book, Divine Love Memoir. This book is the story of how I went from a hippie to becoming a happy. Amazing story, actually. I was an American youth, going to college, getting ready for a career, but then should I be this, should I be that? But then my career choice was to become a sadhu in India. That was my career choice. So it's an interesting story, and it's a good read, and it's available here tonight. And I'll sign it. If you buy, anyone who takes the books, I'll give you my signature in the book. So that's it. My hour is up. Now I'll hand it back over to the person in charge.